Hey, everybody, what's up? This podcast is brought to you by Audible. You can get yourself a free audiobook and support the podcast at the same time by going to audibletrial.com/Courtney Diamond. I'm listening to Ready Player One by Ernest Cline and narrated by Will Wheaton. You've heard of him, Will Wheaton. Yeah, I've read it before, but I'm so excited for the movie that I can't stand myself. So I kind of snagged the audiobook too. I'm crazy. But you don't have to get that. You can get any other book for free by going to audibletrial.com/Courtney Diamond. I will link it up for you guys in the description. Now for this podcast, it was a doozy. You guys. I've sat down to chat with my amazing friends Michelle and Jenna separately, but we've never sat down for a female trio pod until now. I asked Instagram for a few questions that they'd like to ask some single women, so we answered those for you, and then straight up went off the rails in all kinds of ways, which was nothing short of hilarious to me. We legit started GiggleFest 2018 in my apartment and had ourselves quite the blast. So with that, I hope you enjoy this hilarious conversation I had with my friends Michelle Harman and Jenna Lee Golden. So I got some questions from the Instagram men's. Y'all have both done this before.
That's correct.
I'm back.
Guess who's back? Back
She's
again.
I'm back. Let's start with the first question.
Yes.
Adam Lancer sent this to me. He's one of the guys I did a podcast with.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He said, here's a question for your Triple Threat podcast.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, precious.
He thinks that we can all sing, act, and dance?
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Michelle's like, absolutely.
Because joke's on you, Adam. We can.
Because you're right. Why do some women ignore phone calls or texts, but then later go and like/comment on your photos on social media and creep on your IG stories? Is this like a hard to get thing or what?
Trick question. Why do you guys do that to us? We think that's a one-way street, Adam? Come on now.
Oh, that's so funny. You know why I do it? I have that really bad habit of reading a text or getting a phone call and then forgetting to answer because I just glance at it and then I forget for about 3 to 4 days. And at that point I go, should I answer now or is it weird? So I'm still looking at their stuff, but then I don't even know whether I should say anything anymore because then you have to start with the apology text. Like, I'm so sorry, I suck, and I didn't get back to you. My bad.
I feel very differently about that.
Go ahead.
I just feel like in my own personal life, if I do ignore phone calls or texts, it's either because I feel like it's either one of two things. I either am just not that into it or I feel vulnerable. So like if maybe they were the last person to send a text, then I don't maybe necessarily text them. But in this case, he's talking about us ignoring text. So I don't know. For me, at least, I feel like if you're into somebody, you'll text them back. If you're not, I don't even know that it's necessarily playing hard to get. It's just like they're not really on your mind. Because if you really are excited about somebody,
enough.
Yeah, totally. I feel like if you really are excited enough about somebody, you text them back. That beginning part when it's all fun and new to like send them text. You don't just like forget. In my opinion, I mean, maybe you do, but
nah. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that at the root of that, maybe it's not a fully into it situation.
Yeah. Totally. Shell?
Easy answer. Instagram is super easy. How long does it take to do? Like that? They're either avoiding conversation with you because they don't like you, or they just are lazy.
Well, they're lazy and they're wishy-washy. Yeah. It's really difficult with the communication these days to keep something going. I feel like with some of these people I talk to online, it's like you talk to them for maybe a day and it'll be like 4 messages back and forth. And then continuing it after that is really, really difficult because somebody drops the ball at one end or the other. Totally can be me, for sure. Totally can be me.
So if anybody hasn't received a text message from Courtney in 3 to 4 days, consider it not going well. But also, if there are any girls who are doing it just to play hard to get, that's not a girl you should be talking to anyway, because that girl sounds like garbage.
Well, the hard to get game thing is very
stupid.
Immature?
Yes, totally.
Is the word immature what we're looking for here?
Totally.
A Human 12 on Instagram said, what really captures your interest right off the bat?
If someone is just polite, they're opening the doors for you, they're maybe picking up the bill, they're making you laugh.
Michelle's like, don't you make me pay for nothing.
Kind of, you just feel that chemistry where it's just easy to talk to. Eyes are a big thing for me. They've got to kind of have those magnetic eyes that you're drawn to.
I call it a kind eye.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
like kind eyes. I like that. You can tell who's nice.
They got
People
a
who,
nice
like-
rack of eyes.
Make an effort to, dress up nice for a date.
I think-
Effort is huge.
Yeah, effort is huge. Totally. But also, kind of like what Michelle said, it's just like a connection thing. And that sucks, but like it's either there or it's not, And usually both of you know within a first amount of time, like what catches your attention, like somebody you can vibe with, And that's not something that you can just create. Like all those things that you just said are great, but if the connection's not there, I just don't really think it goes well.
Sense of humor is so big too.
Totally. God, I love a funny guy.
Do you ever have to like go hang out with somebody that does not have any form of sarcasm in their humor repertoire?
No,
And they
because
think
I
that you're
wouldn't.
they think you're constantly like making fun of them, or like you're just not on the same level, and it's the most awkward thing that could possibly happen.
Like when you just keep missing the boat back and forth, you're like,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
shit, that's
and it's
the worst.
stuttery and it's awkward.
Yeah.
And you're like, please help me. The problem with all these, because it's essentially like blind dates we're all going on. I mean, we have some pictures and stuff, but blind chemistry, and you go
Whoa,
there
new
and
term.
somebody write that down.
Blind chemistry.
But yeah, you totally know within like a minute to 2 minutes.
See, but I
You don't
really
know?
Don't.
I feel like I
like-
freaking know.
'cause I feel
or at
like-
least whether I'm like gonna vibe.
I feel like first dates are really, like, for me, they're easy because there's so much to talk about. And you can easily fill the conversation with interesting things about each other. But I find the difficult part being on the fourth date when you've talked a lot of things through. And that's when you figure out you don't really have chemistry because you're running out of things to talk about. Maybe you don't have that much in common. Or, I don't know. That's kind of how it's been for me.
You're better at going on second and third dates than I am. I'm so like,
I don't know.
I love when you highlight these things. That really cracks my shit up.
I'm being honest.
I know, that's why I'm so into you. It's so
honesty is so
refreshing and
appealing.
delightful.
I know myself.
Yeah. Shit.
I'm at this point. We have an anonymous question next. Somebody said, I kind of cheated. Should I tell her?
Is that a serious question?
That's a
What kind of
real
cheating?
question.
What
There's
does
like an
kinda mean?
emotional cheating. There's financial cheating.
I
There's
didn't get any
sexual
deets.
cheating.
I didn't get any deets.
Wait, hold
So-
on. Sorry, Tio, but what's financial cheating?
When you like spend a bunch of money on something you don't tell your husband or wife.
Ooh, like in Love Actually, where he buys the
Or
necklace
if
for
you-
the secretary
Yes, or if you have gambling
and gave his wife a
problem or-
CD.
Oh, so that's in the instance that you have like shared bank accounts, like that you
Right.
share money.
Right.
Okay, I see. Wait, there's literally zero. There's zero more insight on that. All right, guys, clear your schedules. We're gonna be here for the rest of the evening. Jesus.
No, just physical cheating versus, what if it's, some people don't think it's cheating if they're talking to people online and they just don't ever meet them in person. I've heard that from dudes.
That's
Or
cheating.
they're like, oh, if I go, dance with chicks in a club and, I get some numbers and stuff, but I don't follow up on it. Like, you consider that cheating,
for a night, but it's all good.
I feel like if you're out,
He said I
with your-
kind of cheat. So it doesn't sound like maybe full on cheated.
He probably kissed or made out with someone.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
But what's the question? He said I kind of cheated. Should I tell her?
Yes.
Yes, if you feel like if you can bring yourself to say the words out loud, I kind of cheated or I think I cheated, obviously it's weighing on your brain that you did something wrong. And if you did something wrong in your own fucking opinion in regards to your relationship, that's probably something that you should discuss.
Probably should, but he probably trying to get off scot-free about this. I hate the concept, man. That's an obvious statement. I hate the concept of cheating because it's like if you're slapping a label on something, that should mean you're safe to at least not have to worry about some other person coming into that. If you're in a point where you're thinking about cheating on somebody, just end it beforehand so you don't add
right.
insult to injury.
So we don't know this person and their like background or their situation, but
No.
I've always felt very strongly in the sense that like if you're not married and you don't have kids, I mean maybe this person does for all I know, I don't fucking know, but if you're not married and you don't have kids, there's no reason. There's not like that gives you a reason to cheat. I'm not saying it's okay to cheat on somebody if you're married or you have kids, but I'm just saying if you aren't either of those things, if you are ever in a situation where you would rather do something with somebody else, then that means you shouldn't be in that relationship. It's like just not that fucking hard. There's no point. You don't owe them anything at that point. It's stupid. I just really don't think I'm not joking you, because I've always felt this way, but then in your brain you're like, yeah, but who would really do anything about that? No joke. There was this girl in high school. I'm not even joking you. Her name was Jordan. She was kind of weird. She was an opera singer. No, I'm serious. She was an opera singer and a pianist. I did not say penis. For the record, I said pianist.
You know the movie The Pianist? I'll like purposely try not to say it. I'll be like, you know that movie with Adrian Brody where he played a piano?
Because she doesn't want to accidentally say penis. Penis.
Piano.
The Paranast? Do you know the Paranast?
I didn't realize I did it until I heard myself doing it one day, and I was like, why am I describing this movie?
It's amazing. Okay, but seriously, this girl in high school, she was like 16, and every boyfriend or dude that she dated in high school, she straight up told them at the beginning of their relationship, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you think that you're going to or want to cheat on me, at that point, I don't fucking care. Please just call me and give me a heads up so I know it's over. Like, I won't ask you questions. I don't want to deal with it, but just give me the courtesy if it ever gets to that point to let me know. And
I have said that directly to people before.
Okay, well, here's the best part. Some dude actually took her up on it once. She had a boyfriend in high school. He was at a party. He was about to go into one of the bedrooms with another girl, and he called her and was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but it's over." And she was like, "Cool, thanks."
This is a weird. See, I didn't.
Did
think
it really go down like that? I don't know, but that's what she told me.
Yeah, I'm surprised it happened like in the moment. Like he's on the way to the bedroom. He's in the hallway.
Better let her know.
Right? I was thinking more like if you're considering cheating at all, obviously something's gone wrong.
Right.
Assess that, talk to them, do something like that. And you realize it's done, then end it and then go do it. Because you're just making it worse if you...
You don't want to end up in like a Michael Jackson Sturdy Diana situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Damn, that's such a good song.
I know, right? Old school.
I wish you were listening to that right now. This is a really good song.
Too many people are afraid of confrontation these days. It's really sad how many times I've had to end it with someone, even though we both knew that it was over. Where it's like, I got to send that text or I got to make that call of like, hey, things aren't working out, but that's okay. Like,
I know.
And
I'm proud of you.
always me.
I'm proud of you for doing that. Because you just did that.
Don't have the guts to like say something's wrong. Like, it's not gonna offend me. Like, if the things didn't work out, or if like, it's like, God, I'm not gonna hate you. Just like be honest and open with each other. It's like shit.
The number one problem, in my opinion, with like dating in our generation is accountability. It doesn't exist anymore, and it's so disturbing. But guys, they don't want to be the bad guy, and for whatever reason, they think it's easier to like just awkward moonwalk away and not say anything about it. And that's so silly.
Into the night.
Come on, own up. You know, shit. Didn't work. It didn't work. Like she said, what she said. Just do it.
I know.
Don't act shitty and then make us break up with you.
Yes, because that is definitely a lot of guys go to.
Totally.
They're just like, well, I'll just be like real awful until she can't handle me anymore.
Flip a switch. Not cute. And you know what?
I've dated a lot of 180s. I call them 180s because
Totally.
you think they're one guy and then just out of nowhere, it could be a month, it could be 3 months, it could be farther than that, it could be sooner than that. All of a sudden, they show you some side of themselves where you're like, who in the world is that?
No kidding.
That's not who I've been talking to.
It makes me wonder, though, for like every dude that does that we've clearly all experienced. I wonder if girls do that to dudes too.
I'm sure they do. I'm
sure that's on both sides. But like, just like collectively, let's all decide as young people in the world, guys. Let's not do that anymore. Let's just not. Okay. Let's do the right thing. Let's tell them, hey, listen, had a lot of fun. Think you're great. I don't really feel the strong connection here, but I really enjoy my time with you. Like, just whatever you have to say. But let's not do that anymore.
Yeah, that's a note for me. I drift into the night a lot.
Now that triggered a Justin Timberlake song. My brain is vocal tonight.
That's nice, though. I love Justin.
Oh my God.
Our next question is, how long have each of you been single, and how long do you stay single between relationships usually?
It's not
Or like, do you try to?
Calculated effort.
Do you try to? Okay, go ahead. You answer first.
No.
No, there's not. Go ahead.
But like, what a silly thing! Like, you're sitting at home in your day planner, being like, "I'm going to be single until April 17th." Like, no.
Well, okay. My answer to that is, how long have I been single? I've been single for years, like four or five. I've lost count. Do you know?
I don't remember. I've known you for so long that it all kind of
Blends together. Because I've just like dated some guys, but there haven't been labels on it. Haven't been like a relationship in a while.
Right.
And what I would say to that, though, is usually when I get out of a relationship, I take a while off kind of intentionally. Like, I purposely don't try to date anybody for usually like at least 6 months. I always feel like I have to get back to myself. I have to like process the end of that relationship, whatever that was, learn whatever I need to from it, get back to doing my own thing, creating my own routines, and then I start trying to date again. I'm very methodical. Go ahead.
Which I'm blown away because good for you. Like, I wish I had any.
I mean, if some magical Prince Charming showed up and swept me off my feet in that process, I guess that it would be different. But that hasn't happened. I've usually had the time to do that. But it's more of like, where am I putting my energy? I don't put my energy into finding somebody new for a while.
I don't think I've had like super heavy relationships to the point where I need that much time. I can like end something if there's no chemistry with someone, and then a few weeks later I'd be like, oh,
Not necessarily
going on a date.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily always like bummed or anything like crazy. It's just for some reason I just like to decompress after that.
Yeah.
I'm such a little solo artist sometimes. You know what I mean?
I mean,
When Beyonce went solo, I mean, that's when she made it big. So.
What about Michelle?
Exactly. Everybody wonders that because the answer is like, what
She
the
tried to
fuck
make a
is Michelle
comeback.
doing? She was in one song with Nelly.
Dang, what happened to Nelly? Did he ever take the Band-Aid off?
Sans Band-Aid. I don't know. After Grills, things seem to go downhill.
Dang. What was your answer to that? You don't purposely...
Oh, yeah.
How long have you been single?
God, that's, I guess the struggle that I'm having is that you were so ready with an answer. And I genuinely don't know how to answer that question because I genuinely don't know how long I've been single because we're getting into semantics here. Like, what do you count? The last time I was in like a serious relationship, I was probably 22 years old.
Yeah. We'll go with like relationship.
But I've dated so much since then.
Yeah.
But just nothing seems to like work out. So
yeah, me too.
I've definitely dated guys where I've like invested myself in or I thought I really liked, but like probably nothing that lasted longer than like a few months. So I don't really know if you consider, I guess I'm just going back to the last time I had like my heart truly broken, you know?
Yeah.
But since then I feel like I've done like enough dating to last a freaking lifetime. I'm so over it. So I don't really know. I don't know. It's not like I ever like intentionally remained single, but I do feel like I just think that people are so afraid, like, what does this mean? And they just hit the high road, even though it's like, yes, we're exclusively talking and seeing each other. Maybe I've met your family. Maybe you've talked about me. Maybe we're doing all these things, but like we never got to the point where you're like, you're my boyfriend and I'm your girlfriend and I don't need the cootie shot anymore. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself single during a lot of those times, but I certainly wouldn't have considered myself in a serious relationship either.
Yeah,
I concentrate on one human being at a time, but at the same time, a lot of my relationships never got to the point where like they were substantial because everybody acts like a dick.
Well, yeah, and no one asks like, "Can I be your boyfriend anymore?" Like,
it's always a confusion. It's like, what is
are
this?
Are we? It's been like 4 months. We're exclusive, but there's no label. We don't like labels.
Yeah,
and it's like, but no, I really need to know.
So you didn't have a label on this last one.
My past like 3 relationships, there were really no labels, but they lasted for like 3-4 months. And I guess before that, like my longest relationship was in college. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2009, so
what's going on,
2018.
y'all?
So I would say like 9 years.
That's the real question. What's going on? What's going on?
People are so scared of what everything means or feeling like they're committing to something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, queen.
It's
yeah. Grow up.
It's like, how long can we keep this as super casual as possible?
I'm so tired of Netflix and chill. I so badly just want somebody to just be like not afraid of what everything means. If I say this, or if I text you 2 days in a row, or if I do this, or
that's part of it.
Talk about emotions. God,
a confident man is very attractive. So when you see a guy that's just willing to step up and make a move or pick a restaurant
like
or
I
ask
just
you out for
told you
real,
about.
or yeah,
totally.
That's what it is. It's this confidence that I feel like we all, in all the stories that we've told each other, at least, we're all super drawn to. A guy that just kind of knows what he wants. He
or
says,
at least a guy who's not afraid to like
explore. that.
Just try, and
Yeah.
like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know.
Sure.
But just putting yourself out there is incredibly attractive
That's very true.
on the
It's-
guy's end.
Yeah.
Because I was just sitting there thinking, I wonder if guys think that about girls. I don't think they do.
You know, my guy friends will always tell me that I need to start asking guys out. They were like, well, if you don't like the way it's been going, or if it hasn't been working, maybe you should just go out and start asking dudes on dates. And I'm like, God, that's so out of my wheelhouse.
I love a good wheelhouse.
But I mean,
I'm from another time. I don't think
maybe-
I'm.
Is it weird that I just imagine like Dwight Schrute's beet farm from The Office, and I imagine like a house full of many like wooden wheels for wagons?
I know.
That's what my brain just thought
That's
of.
hilarious. I'm glad I gave you such a visual, though.
Everything seems to.
Or what were you saying?
you know what? I lost-
Wheelhouse. Asking guys on dates.
Oh, well, I think that maybe you don't have to ask them out on dates, but better just with the follow through of like, hey, let's hang out sometime. And you're like, yeah, let's hang out.
Yeah.
And then it's dead. You could be the person to like reignite that conversation.
Maybe you know why I suck on the follow through with those is because I don't know if I like them yet. Like we haven't. They might be
Totally.
cute in a picture, but I'm just really, really aware that just because you're cute in a picture doesn't mean we're gonna have real chemistry or I'd like you yet.
Yeah.
So I don't put in that effort for the extra follow through because the picture's not enough for me to be so excited to meet you.
But how
Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know, need to have more conversation to figure out if there's like that chemistry, or
Yeah, I
do
mean,
you think that
part-
either way you just have to go out and find out if it's there or not?
I think I probably just have to go out and find out if it's there because I've had people too where I have long conversations with them and we seem to click with, you know, things in common or maybe a little bit of the sense of humor and then you get in person and it's still not there. So, you know, I don't know. That's how people get catfished, you know, and they like fall in love. They like fall in love through text messages, people that will never voice chat with them and they're in a deep relationship. But then they meet each
That
other in
got
person.
rough.
And it's that's like a real thing. You seen that show?
I know. It's
Yeah.
just like that bums me out.
Yes, people will, but they delude themselves. Some of these people for years on end in text message relationships or just like phone call relationships, and they think they've got chemistry, and yet, no.
So the person
It's either the
doing that,
wrong
though,
person or.
Are they like so afraid to admit that they're in any sort of relationship, or they just need like the constant attention or connection?
They might be dying for connection, man.
But like,
Maybe they're not the most attractive person, so they have to pretend to be someone else.
It's always what it is,
That
yeah.
attention type of thing.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's not going to be like, you know, GQ models doing that usually.
Wouldn't that be
that's
great? A great catfish, though.
Yeah.
if you got like,
amazing.
if you got like catfished by like a firefighter,
You
who
are
was just, like-
cuter than the picture you sent me.
It's called a reverse catfish.
They send you a picture. They send you a picture of like Steve Urkel, but like Stefan comes to the door. Oh,
That's the best way to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Stefan comes. Like, oh yeah, my pictures are kind of old. I have some, you know, fix my teeth up. And
Yeah, maybe we should like not have as good as pictures on our online.
yeah, okay,
dating
let's take
sites.
real average pictures.
And then when
let's
you
take
show up,
some
you're like,
real-
bam!
Yeah,
I'm Foxy Cleopatra, and I'm a whole lot of woman.
like 10 minutes after you wake up.
what was that? The opening scene from Hercules? What was that?
That's Austin Powers. That's
Oh my God.
Beyonce.
Oh my God! I'm Foxy Cleopatra, and I'm coming at you. That was really funny, Michelle.
Even strong,
That's
I
in
love
a
that.
song from the soundtrack.
There's got a musical undertone to this one.
I can't stop visualizing songs this entire time. I don't know what's going on.
I love it. You ready for the next one? Mm-hmm. Joshua Shea 8 on Instagram. Joshua Shea? I don't know. You freaking laugh in my ear. It's gonna kill me, dude.
Sound like
gonna act-
Iago from Aladdin.
Oh, but you mean Yago?
Iago.
She trying to blow out my eardrums, y'all.
Oh my God. That's amazing. First of all, with the Yago reference. But also, you said Joshua shaped? Like he shaped his pants?
No, it says Shay. You see it. Shay 8. We ain't making fun of your name. She making fun of me and how I talk.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, the current trend of exercise and eating healthy is the top choice for women a guy with abs or a dad bod.
Oh.
Depends on who you ask.
Oh, yes.
Everybody's got their own preferences. My roommate, that's like a joke. I mess with her all the time. She'll be like, "Oh, that guy's good looking," or like, "Oh, that guy's hot." It's the same guy every time. It's like a guy with a beard and tattoos and a dad bod. For whatever reason, that really floats her boat. That makes her junk wiggle just a little.
What's the definition of dad bod exactly? Is it just like they're reasonably trimmish still, but maybe like a little tummy?
Yeah, it's like usually somewhat of a tall dude, but like this a hint of a beer belly type of situation.
Okay. Maybe not pronounced pecs any longer. Yeah.
Any longer. They
They
once were pronounced. Now they're not.
Now he has children. Works 48 hours a week. And
Oh,
He just
man.
looks like a hard worker.
Oh, dang.
That's a great question.
I kind of like a little bit of an in between because it's like if they're too chiseled, then that
God, it's
brings up my
It's
insecurities.
intimidating.
It's
Yeah.
intimidating, but I mean it's beautiful. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh no.
Right.
But yeah, somewhere in between, like dad bod is like let's try a little harder. I'm just
So-
not as attracted to the beer belly gut.
Right.
Like an average dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with the chiseled guys. We got a lot of chiseled men here in San Diego.
That's so
That don't impress me much.
Shania Twain.
Have I got the looks, but have you got the touch? No, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I think you're all right. But that don't keep me warm in the middle of the long, cold, lonely night.
me much.
Damn, y'all.
That honestly wasn't even bad.
You're like, we didn't even prepare that.
Wait, also, but I have to tell you a funny text message I shared with this like pretty hilarious individual last night. I was watching the movie Fool's Gold. Because
McConaughey.
it's an amazing movie. Yeah. And like,
great.
yeah. And you know what? It's kind of
McConaughey's-
like Matthew McConaughey. He's so good looking. It's annoying. You know, you're like, all right, we gotta, but like, I've always just been super, super into that. He's definitely in my top 5. It's like, how can he not be? Which sucks because I'm almost annoyed that he's in my top 5, but he is. You know what I mean? Do you want to hear my list?
Yeah.
Number 1, Tom Hardy.
Oh, yes.
Duh.
Yes.
Like,
Sorry, I got very excited about that.
6,492% of yes.
Yes.
I'm going to put Matthew McConaughey in there. I know it's annoying. This is not in any order except for Tom Hardy is definitely number 1. I'm going to have to give it to Ryan Gosling too. Just his stupid little smirk makes me just weak in the knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, stupid ass smirk.
You get mad at them? Damn, when they're so attractive, you're mad at 'em.
Yes, you're like, we get it. Stop it.
I haven't felt that in a minute.
Beckham, David Beckham.
Yeah, he's beautiful.
Yeah.
And British. Next level. Is that 4?
Yeah. And like, I can't really help myself, but Justin Timberlake.
Oh, yeah. Talk about triple threats. Okay. He's good at everything. That man is good at everything.
Totally.
Drives me nuts.
Oh, wait. But anyway, wait, back to the text message though. So I was talking to him about Fool's Gold and I was texting him and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this movie, I liked it so much more when I was younger, but at the end, I just can't stop thinking about how Kate Hudson got back together with that loser. Because in the movie, he's just an immature, unresponsible idiot.
Yeah.
And I was like, at 29 years old, I'm more thinking like the rest of your life is going to be a question mark. And now you just brought a kid into this. That's like the last scene of the movie. All of a sudden she's pregnant. And you're like, come on, guys.
That's how you know you're grown.
Totally.
You're looking at that movie in a totally different way now.
100%. And so then he was like, yeah, he's so good looking though. And I was like, I know, but it's kind of like, we get it. And he's like, you're right. I mean, if I can't have a 6-pack at 29 and he can at 40, it's like, calm down, you know? And that's so true. Will that man ever not be good looking? The answer is no. And that's annoying because that's not normal.
He's got his whole day to be healthy, though, and, like, keep his body together. That's the thing with, like, actors and models and stuff. It's like they spend their day staying beautiful. They can get facial treatments, until they're 97.
Just go into radio if you get ugly.
Go into radio. They all get podcasts. That's hilarious. So, what are you usually attracted to then, Jenna? Ooh, that pour.
Oh, can you hear it?
Yeah, it's sumptuous.
I apologize,
That's
but
a good
I
word.
don't.
I'll let you finish.
I just
Drop
dropped
the top
the cap
in
into
the wine.
Son of a bitch.
She's so damn graceful.
What else is new? I don't even know how to get that out without just cupping my...
Just go for it.
All right. Any hoozles. I can honestly say I've been attracted to like a little bit of everything over the years. It's almost like it knows no bounds, and that's
probably good.
annoying.
It's
No,
probably
it's
good, though.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you were like, Jenna, what's your ideal type? I'd be like a lumberjack, you know.
Hey,
but
you don't got to tell me twice.
totally. But in reality,
Speaking of my background, go ahead.
it's been a little bit of everything. I like the guys. I definitely have always kind of been attracted to like the dumb surfer type, you know, because I grew up in California, but at the same time, I like a good beard. But additionally speaking, this last little stint, I was really into like the shorties but hotties. I don't know why.
Shorties, but hot. What's a shorty?
Not somebody with a Napoleon complex or anything like that, but like, I don't know, 5'5" 3/4.
You seem a lot taller than that.
Really? You do?
Yeah, because I'm
we're
short.
teenses.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're both 5'2".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teensy weensies.
Yeah.
No, I'm 5'5" 3/4. But like the last guy I dated was like 5'7", so he like barely had an inch on me, and I was like totally fine with it. That didn't bother me at all because this sounds cheesy, but in my brain it's like if there is connection, that's kind of I've been attracted to it all if that exists, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's how it's supposed to be, though, right? It's like you're supposed to be able to like whoever you have that good connection with.
I mean, I do think you have to be attracted to somebody, though. That being said, I'm not going to make myself sound like some righteous ass person because at the end of the day, you do have to be attracted to them. That is a key component to a relationship, period. But I have found myself attracted to many people just because you know, if they're like super funny or super wonderful or just like super anything, you're like, yeah, you're super.
That's the exact conversation I had with, one of our mutual friends. And he was like, it doesn't matter what they look like at all, ever. Doesn't matter. And I was like,
that's not true.
I was like, no.
That person's lying.
I was like, no, you can have a different type, but that attraction has to be there, no matter what he looks like. What you looking for, dude?
Fork?
Yeah, fork. A fork is what I need.
Okay, but I
That
ate
plas-
off of it.
That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Dude,
Sorry, just trying to fish the wine cap out of my glass here.
Oh, because it's sunk.
Right, that's
I'm all
correct.
silly. I thought it was floating on top
Not a
this
cork,
way.
So.
Thank you, ma'am. God,
I'm just going to leave all this in here.
This is what friends are for.
Michelle always doing the cleaning.
We got it. We're good.
Nailed it.
That is hilarious.
Back on track.
Yeah, but there has to be an attraction. Nobody has to be perfect looking. Nobody's perfect looking.
Totally.
Except for, maybe Matthew McConaughey's and, of course, Tom Hardy.
But everybody has their like qualities that they tend to like kind of gear towards.
Gravitate
like,
to.
Michelle here said eyes earlier.
Mm-hmm. But she has a very particular type that isn't just eyes.
I'm like blue eyes.
Yeah. She likes very similar looking types of gentlemen.
Like the surfer type as well. We've talked about
Blondes.
this before.
Remember, I was like, would you date a brunette or a brunette?
What's wrong with
Not
brunette?
that
was a
Aryan.
correct term.
Brunette for a man?
Yeah,
Net?
100%.
Really?
Why not?
I don't know. For some reason, I thought that was a feminine term.
No.
Brunette,
No.
because it ends in the et.
But what else would you call them? A brownhead? Honestly, that just sounded racist.
He's got brown hair, okay?
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, God.
Well, I've always said, though, like...
Sorry.
I almost said a Bruno.
I did it again. I'm sorry.
Coined a new phrase.
Which don't make no sense. Okay.
Bruno. I had a Bruno.
I like... I don't know. I like a good beard. I can't help it.
Oh, beards are nice. I like a tailored
facial
beard,
hair.
though.
I like facial hair.
Close
I wanna,
to the face.
I want to tug on it with my teeth.
With your teeth? Damn. That's legit. That's crazy.
Fuck, yes.
Yeah. I used to think that I only liked super tall men because that's my thing, right? I was like these really tall dudes.
Because you want to look like Jada Pinkett Smith next to Shaquille O'Neal or
Oh,
whatever
no.
it is.
Will
That's
Smith?
Will Smith.
I was like, they do have an open relationship.
What's Shaq's wife's name? You've seen the two of them next
They
to
look
each
like
other.
different
she's-
species almost because he's so much bigger.
Species.
Species.
That's hilarious.
He's just a giant man. It's startling.
It's upsetting for sure.
Do you know what I think it is, though? Because, like a trim man, most of the time, they tend to be on a thin build. I think that usually makes them taller. I think they just coincide.
Yeah, tall guys have it so easy.
Yeah.
I know
But then-
exactly what you're describing.
But
They're ectomorphs.
yeah.
The fuck
But I
does
think that
mean?
It's just like they don't even have to try. They're just
ectomorphs
skinny.
are guys
They're
that are
just like
skinny for no
metabolism.
reason. They can be skinny all the time without putting any effort into
Yeah,
it.
must be nice.
Burgers and
Jesus.
tacos every day.
I was just talking to that with my cousin earlier. He was telling me how he just like ordered this protein powder supplement or whatever that's like 1,000 calories, and he's trying to drink it every night before bed because he's like desperately trying to gain weight. And I'm like, oh my God, good thing we have the opposite problem forever and always.
They're always trying to gain weight. We always trying to lose it.
Oh my God. I've been working out
We got
like
the messed up end.
4 to 5 times a week. I went vegan and I haven't even lost 2 pounds. What kind of bullshit is that?
You haven't?
Yeah, I swear to shit. Stupid.
Okay. Are we ready for the next one?
Got a little off track there.
Hey, no such thing. Why do you think girls seem to flock to the guys that have multiple girls around and act like a douchebag? While the nice guys get looked over, what's the appeal? It's the classic nice guy question. Why do nice guys finish last, they think?
I have a really strong feeling about this one.
Ooh, this is going to be the truth.
Yeah, and it hurts.
With a double O-F. Go ahead.
A troph. I genuinely think that there's a little bit of nature that goes into that, right? Like, I'm going to use like the bird of paradise in like planet Earth, you know, when they're like showing off. That's just, it's part of nature because, and what I mean by that is guys think that they're supposed to act like that or do those kinds of things. And the ones that don't, the nice guys that I think that question is describing, should be exactly who they are. Don't try to be anything else. Be exactly who you are. Be the nice guy, because you know what? I guarantee you it'll end up better in the long run for you. It's going to, you know that scene in Bob's Burgers where the one where it's like 2 for Tina?
One of my favorite episodes, in fact.
100% one of my favorite episodes.
In fact.
But all of a sudden she is always vying after Jimmy Jr.'s attention. But one day she finds herself with a Jimmy Jr. and that guy from the dance academy competing for her attention and to take her to the school dance. Bob said to her, Tina, don't lead them on, or something like that. And Linda cuts him off and goes, Bob, it's taken a long time for Tina to get to the buffet. Let her go nuts, or like whatever she says, right?
Yeah.
I think that is classic behavior right there. And at the end of the day, be who you are, because it's gonna happen. And the nice guys, just so you know out there, if any nice guys are listening and you're thinking that you're in this category, eventually girls are going to get to a point in their life where they grow up and they're tired of dealing with bullshit. Because when you're in college and we're young in your 20s, you go after the guys that have the pompous ass attitude and are being the bird of paradise and fucking and acting like a douchebag, because we just want to know that we could get a guy like that. But that's when you're dumb and you're young. Eventually you grow up and you cut the shit and you're like, oh no, that's not what is compatible or going to last. So eventually you go for the nice guy, because that's the one that is more stable, and that's the situation that's long term. Nice guys are going to end up happy for the rest of their lives, I guarantee it.
I always say the same thing. I'm like, it might be a little rough in the beginning.
Or for many years, or for most of your 20s, but it's going to end up better for you.
Yep.
I have a good friend who I tell that to all the time. And I'm like, I know it's rough, but hang in there, because it's going to pay off for you so hard.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think, Michelle?
I have the same thoughts.
And that's a wrap.
And there we go.
The last question we have. Tell us something strange or uncomfortable that happened to you on a date. Yeah, go ahead and pick from all the 8,000 things.
How much time do we have? Who wants to go first? Because it's not me.
It's not you?
No.
You were so ready.
No.
Michelle, what you got? Something uncomfortable that happened to you on a date.
This one was like actually really sweet of the guy, but it made me feel really uncomfortable.
Dang, I got one of those too. Go ahead.
He like full on wrote a very emotional song about me and where I was in my emotional place.
Yes.
And he sang it to me. It was just a little bit much. He wasn't that great at it. And it was just...
What was your face doing while he
I
was
was just
singing?
like trying to think like, don't look.
Don't look at him? Where were you looking?
Like, I was like, where do you look? Do I look at him? Do I smile? Do I just... And then what should my reaction be at the end? It was just all anxiety.
That's hilarious. If you're so in your head, you're not even, like, you could barely probably even hear what he was doing, because your mind's just going, how do I process this? How do I deal with this? How do I not look awkward?
He legit, like, recorded the song.
Dude, that was going to be mine, dude.
What?
I swear to God.
That was going to be yours?
Yeah, so there was a guy, remember that guy that was, like, super into me, and it was a little weird. I don't want to call him out specifically, of course. Anyway, he was very into me without knowing much of anything about me at all. Didn't really have any conversation with me, but, you know, figured out where I lived. My friends thought it was funny. They gave him my phone number. They thought that would be hilarious.
Woof.
Yeah, which I didn't think was super funny at all. But then, yeah, he started, like, showing up at my new jobs, and then
And then one day he showed up in front of my house.
That's called a stalker.
I was trying to not use that word. I was trying to be really nice.
Well, I'm not that nice, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that's
But he like recorded a song and gave it to me on a CD and like sang it for me out in front of my house, like in public.
Oh my God, what is it, 16 candles?
With a guitar. And I said, getting serenaded is something that makes me very uncomfortable. I don't know where to look. I want a nervous laugh for some reason.
I don't know a whole lot of women that really like to be serenaded unless it's like,
and especially because it's not even somebody that's like you're super into. It's not like you're getting married. Not like you're in a deep relationship. I don't know why some guys do that.
It's a risky move.
They jump the gun.
Don't do that unless you really know she's into it.
Yeah, you jump in the gun a little bit.
I mean, and I won't even say that was like an awful date. It was just an awkward encounter. I haven't had that many awful things happen to me on dates, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm actually relatively newer to the dating game, actually, with the past like 3 years. Before it was always like, so-and-so knows this person. You should meet him. And
friends of friends.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to meet people.
I miss that.
It feels like a voucher.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Like somebody's vouched for them. Like, oh, I hang out with them.
We've been friends
cool.
for like 3 years. Oh, cool.
Here's your free appetizer.
Yeah. Jenna, you got one?
Jenna's got some real doozies.
Yeah.
I came up with my top 3. One time at work, there was this new guy, and I thought he was pretty attractive, and he seemed really funny and nice. It's not who you're thinking of. I swear. I know exactly who you're thinking of. It's not that. I thought he was really nice and attractive, but I never really got to run into him very much because he worked in a different department. So my friend totally threw me under the bus and gave him my phone number and was like, I think that you should call her. And he was like, all right. Or text her, whatever the fuck it was. Anyway, this guy texted me. We texted back and forth for a little bit. And then he asked me out on a date. And I was like, okay, cool. Sounds good. Like, I thought he was pretty cute. I thought it was cool that he had the balls to do that. And I was like, great. The night of our date, I'm getting ready. And obviously every girl out there knows that when you have a date, you put a little extra effort into yourself, right? So I'm, primping and whatever. And I get a text message like 45 minutes before he said that he was going to come pick me up or meet me. I don't remember what it was. And he was like, hey, by the way, my buddy so-and-so's coming. He's hilarious. You'll love him. Just to recap, this guy legit asked me out on a date and then brought a friend.
Awkward.
Brought a friend. I wish that was the only time that would happen to me because that's my number 3 example that I'm going to use. Only come to find out later, I think the guy started like dating his ex-girlfriend or something in the interim, or was dating somebody. I don't really know what the story was, but essentially it was a cop-out and he didn't want to like bail on me altogether, but he was already talking to somebody else at that point.
God, that's annoying. Don't waste my time.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't waste my time.
That was funny.
That's why we get so sick of dating. It's like things like that.
100%. Oh my God, wait, hold on. I have 4. Another one was one time I actually planned the date. I was trying to be cute. I had been like, this guy was like my summer fling. I had been like, like hooking up with him and hanging out with him. He was cool. And there was a meteor shower that night. And I thought I really, really wanted to see it. So I just basically sent him a text message and I was like, hey, if I told you there was something I really wanted to do at like midnight on this night, would you be into it? I'm not going to tell you what, but is that cool? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So I planned this whole thing. I went and got like hot chocolate and snacks, and I brought like a blanket, and we drove out like 30 minutes east to where I could find there was no light because I really wanted to see this meteor shower. And we started climbing up this mountain at like almost 1 o'clock in the morning to try to see this meteor shower. And while climbing up the mountain, he stepped on a rattlesnake.
Oh.
And I didn't know that at the time. All I knew was that we were walking up a mountain and he pushed me. Looking back on it, was a very chivalrous move. He was trying to push me to save my life. But he had stepped on the rattlesnake and he knew what he had done because he registered it way before I did, and he wanted to get me out of the way, so he pushed me. But the two of us were like frozen, and he just goes, don't move. And I don't know what in my brain told me, but just like fucking listen to him. So here we are in the complete darkness because our assholes did not have flashlights, and it's pitch black, and all of a sudden you hear the
no.
And he's like, Jenna, I'm serious. Do not move. And that was when I realized what was going on. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. So we stood there for like 3 minutes until the stopped and the thing like withered away. He turned his phone light on at that point and found it. It was a baby rattlesnake, which if any listeners out there know, the most dangerous rattlesnake to get bitten by is a juvenile one because they can't control the amount of venom they release. They can freaking kill you. So it was obviously very upsetting. I would say it sort of ruined the evening. And although we continued to watch the meteor shower and
cortisol
pretend
levels.
totally, even though we pretended it was like a beautiful evening and awesome, by the time we got back to the car, it's like he was in shock and he played it off and he played it cool the whole time. On the drive home, his legs were vibrating the entire time. I had to keep asking him if he actually got bit or not because I wasn't sure, because he was like, no, I'm fine. And he didn't, but he was like shaking. I mean, I fucking would have been too.
Wait, he didn't get bit?
He didn't get bit. He stepped on it, but he didn't get bit. It either bit his shoe or it didn't bit him or whatever.
He was just that like hyped up, like scared.
Yeah, adrenaline.
Yeah.
Totally. So it was so funny because we should have like obviously ended up hanging out for the evening, but when we got home, I could tell that he just like really wanted to like go home and be by himself and not deal with me. So he just was like, oh, I gotta drop you off. I'm like, oh, okay, bye. Sorry, glad you didn't die. Bye. And that was like the end of it. So that was another one. Let's go to number 3. I've already said this on a podcast, so I'll spare you the details, but that was the time the 3 highlights were A, he showed up and brought his brother with him on the date. Asked me on a full-blown date on a dating app. Brought his brother with him. He talked about his ex-girlfriend 10 million times and then purchased Coke right in front of me in the parking lot and played it off like he hadn't just done it. And yeah, I would say that was a really rough, awkward date. Let's see, what's 4th?
The swiping.
The what?
The swiping. Swiping right in front of you.
That was bad. Yeah.
Swiping in front of you.
Totally. So this
Damn.
guy that I'd been hanging out with for like a month, I want to say, or maybe it was a few weeks, whatever. Like we'd been hanging out pretty consistently. It was a casual situation. Like we hadn't like defined what the hell we were doing, but like I don't hang, whatever. It's so insane that you have to like tell people these things nowadays. But anyway, he invited me over for the evening to come like hang out. And we're like sitting on the couch watching TV and his like arms around me. And at one point during a commercial, I like look over and he's on Bumble swiping. As I'm sitting right fucking next to him. And I called him out so hard and he was so surprised that I called him out.
He's like, oh, I thought you were just gonna let me do this.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? And he was like, what? And I was like, are you really like looking at other girls on Bumble right now? He's like, I'm sorry. I didn't know that wasn't cool. And I was like, is that an actual question? And I was like, cool, well, I'm going to leave now. And he was like, well, but what? Are you, what is the follow up here? Anyway, yeah, that's a good one. Thanks. I forgot about that. I forget how many stories I tell my friends.
Yeah.
I got like 19 more that I won't bother y'all with, but shit.
Yeah.
Dates
Kinda
can
got the
go
shit
awry.
on these datings.
God, I really fucking have. It's a joke. I can't tell if in like my brain by the time I relay it to friends, like the story just gets like way better. But like, no, these things really happen. Like this is really
For
just.
sure.
Wait, no, I got another one. Same guy that was the rattlesnake thing. The way
Yeah.
that it ended is he was my date to a wedding. And we had like a great time. He was a super good sport. He was taking pictures of me and all my friends. He was being like a total delight. And then at the end of the day, he goes to drop me off and walks me to my front door, but won't come in the house. And I was like, what's your deal? You seem to be acting weird. And that was like him wanting to like end things that night, great timing. And he was like, yeah, I just, and I was like, why don't you come in and talk to me for a minute? And he like didn't want to come into my house because he didn't want to like get pinned down and like having a conversation about it. But I like kind of was like, no, like I kind of forced him to, because in my brain, he like owed me a conversation type of thing. And he came in the house and then continued to sit down and list all of the reasons he didn't like me to my face. There were 4 or 5 of them.
Why would you need to do that?
I mean, I feel like I forced him inside to talk to me about it. I just didn't expect that his answer was going to be him like listing the reasons he didn't like me.
Yeah, that's rude.
Yeah. I mean, I was like 23, 24 at the time. And he was probably a year or 2 younger than me. So that, I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised. But also, what?
It's just not necessary. Like, say what you need to say in general, but you don't gotta get all specific on people.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Because that's subjective too.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean those things are true.
Yeah. And like one of the things was that he mentioned is that, I don't know, we'd been hanging out for the entire summer. It was probably a couple months that we were hanging out. And at one point we were out somewhere and I like sat on his lap and he told me that he didn't like that because he felt like I was pissing on him. We'd been having sex for like 2 months. I'm so sorry. He actually said that. He's like, yeah, I don't think that's cool. And I'm like, wish you would have said something.
I'm trying to figure out the correlation. My brain wouldn't immediately go there. I'll tell you about the time I went on that date, and it was like our first date, but we went and had dinner. We had a nice time, and then I went back to his house, and we were just hanging out and watching TV. And then all of a sudden, like, the room started to smell super, super bad.
Oh, God.
And
oh, no.
we're like, what's going on?
Oh, no.
His dog was on the bed.
No.
And just, like, had really bad diarrhea.
No.
All over the bed and on his pants. And, like, we just weren't we didn't even notice what was happening.
You don't even want to be inside at that point. It's
No.
gonna, like, permeate the area for a good 3 hours.
And then he had to start cleaning up, and then he's, like, yelling at his dog. And then it was like, I was like, I'm going to go.
This is
Way to
where
dampen the move, dog.
Yeah, he's like, I guess I kind of ruined the mood. And I was like, yeah.
There's no coming back from that.
Poor doggy. His tummy was upset. I get it, but, you know.
Not on the
Mood
bed,
killer. On the bed, dude. I was like, really?
Bruh.
The dog he was like, I thought he was asking to go out, but I couldn't be sure. I was like, we know now.
We know.
We know now. Yeah. I've been on dates with guys that were so hungover they had to leave to throw up, too.
Cute.
Yeah, really attractive.
Those seem like good ones.
Yeah. Those were in my younger years. But don't do those things.
Oh, God. The guy at the coffee shop.
Which guy at the coffee shop?
When you met the guy,
There's so many coffee shops.
when you tried to give the guy a second chance and you met him at a coffee shop and then he was just like a total D-bag and then you're like, oh, we don't have to hang out again.
So yeah, that guy, he'd been trying to go out on a date with me for a long time, and I guess I kind of kept pushing it further back and not making solid plans. So, you know, my bad. But then but finally, I was like, okay, well, let's go have coffee and let's go, you know, hang out. And so I go there, and then from the second I get there, he's just automatically treating me like I am so unimportant, and he doesn't know why I'm there.
Real
And this
effective
is-
tool, too.
And this is really uninteresting, and like pretending like he's so bored to be there. And so I surprise myself because I'm not very confrontational. I'm good at just leaving situations that I don't like and being like, whatever, I don't need to tell you about yourself. But we're sitting there at that table, and he was making comments that were underhanded, basically, and acting like it was a bother to be there. I said, well, if you don't want to be here, like, we don't have to be doing this.
Atta girl.
He was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. This is fine. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go. And he goes, yeah, I'll walk you to your car. And I was like, you don't have to. Don't need it. He goes, no, I'll walk you to your car. So he walked me over there. He gave me like a one-armed hug, which I was like, didn't quite return even. He's like, so I guess I'll probably not see you again.
Ew.
Go die.
So then I went home and I'm like, okay, well, I'm never going to see that human being ever again. Then he text messaged me later and he says, so how'd you think that went?
Oh, that's a serious question.
How'd you think that went?
Cool.
And I was like, it didn't go well. It did not seem successful to me. And he goes, yeah, well, I was just kidding around with you. I was just messing around. And I was like, well, I'm not interested in that kind of messing around. That was dumb.
Good for you.
He goes, I just wanted to see if you could take it. I was like, you game player. What's the
I
purpose of that? You
just
finally got me to
wanted
go somewhere with
see
you.
If you would take it.
Ew. What kind of mind games are you playing, sir?
Negative ones.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it was really gross. Not my
Hope
favorite
you're
moment.
listening, jerk.
I'm really glad that did not work out.
But yeah, I don't know. If you get frustrated with dating at a certain point, do you continue
Sure.
to date or do you purposely not date? Do you try to stay out there?
Well, if you're going to give up on that, you just got to find a different way of interacting with new people, joining new groups or an activity.
Start
that's
hanging out by
weekly
the
or
cantaloupes
monthly.
in the grocery store.
Yeah. Frequent Whole Foods.
That's what she chose. The cantaloupe.
Cantaloupes.
Just made sense to me in the moment.
Join a group if you're new to the area, you know? If
What
you're
the heck
not
does that
into,
mean, Michelle?
go join a dancing group, join fucking CrossFit. It's a
Oh,
cult.
wait, you used to do, it's a cult. You used to do, was it salsa dancing?
Yeah, or swing dancing or whatever.
Swing
I met
dancing.
people. Most of the people that showed up were like old dudes over 40.
I went to a singles game night once.
How was it?
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was at work, and they do these game nights in the event space every once in a while. It's like an algorithm based real situation. And I was working that day, and Donna told me that they needed extra girls. Sorry, Donna was my manager, and she was like, "Hey, they need some extra girls. They don't have enough for the game night tonight. Like, will you stay? Will you go to it?" And I was like, shit. All right. So I did. And you like carried around this card with you the whole night, and you played games in these small groups where you had to rotate so that you met every single person at least once. And then at the end of the night, there were 4 spaces for you to write down any like matches. And if you both wrote each other down, the company that hosted the game night would send you each other's email. Like, that's the best way to get a hold of somebody.
Email. I was just going to say, I barely have my best friend's email.
Yeah.
I had to ask you for your email.
100%.
It's like, what is it?
So any hoozles, I went through the course of the entire evening, had like about 4 glasses of wine to get through it.
Thank
and at
God.
the end of it, on my card, I wrote down across all 4 spaces, nah, thanks, I'm good.
I might.
Nah, good.
And it was funny because the guy who owns the company, they showed up the other day at work to do another one, and he saw me. He was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, he was talking to some girl that was there for the game night. And he was like, "Oh, she did it last time." And he goes, "Were you the one that wrote nah, thanks, I'm good on your card?" He goes, "That sounds like something you'd say." And I was like, "Yeah, that was me."
Yeah, I did it. We talked about trying speed dating.
I still want to do that.
I feel like that'd be really interesting.
I don't think it's going to lead to any sort of like meaningful
not-
connection. I just think it'd
I'm
be
not
like a
saying
good
it's-
story.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's
I
going
would
to work,
just hope
but
to meet this one. It's just like, fuck, she's got everything to say, and she's like interesting and bubbly.
Oh my God. Thanks, Michelle.
Dude,
I'll date
right?
you.
You feel like really good at speed dating.
that's so funny.
What a delightful compliment I did not expect to receive this evening.
We should go do that. Do they still do that? Mm-hmm.
I saw this one at Groupon once. It's like $35.
Damn, we definitely got to do a Groupon one.
Totally. It was like speed dating, and then it was followed up where you got like a drink included with your ticket and a comedy show after.
I like that, though. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up. Where's that at?
Yeah.
Send me the link.
How awful would it be though? Like if speed dating was still like online dating, where it's like you're looking at each other at the end, and you're just like, no, or
Like,
She's
look 'em in-
referencing swiping for,
Oh, yes. Look them in the eyes as you swipe left. See, have a good evening.
or like how ballsy if you like sat down up to 2 minutes at the end of it, you're like, "No, thank you, but thank you for your time."
Hey,
Fucking honest as hell.
well, if it's speed dating, it's encouraging
Never
quick honesty,
gonna
in my opinion, right? Have you heard of those dating things where it's all about pheromones?
What?
Okay, check it out. This is a very LA thing here, right here.
Oh Jesus.
So it's saying that we still instinctually are attracted to people due to pheromones. Okay. So you bring a shirt that you've worn, it's got your scent on it.
No.
Not your nasty scent, not a bad scent, nobody's bad scents.
Your natural
but
musk.
your natural scent from wearing a shirt. You put it in a bag, okay? They put it all on tables. And then you go through and you would go and smell all of the men's shirts.
No.
She went right.
hey,
No.
all the men in LA are hairless. So how are we supposed to get these pheromones? Where are they coming from?
They still come from the pores, I'm sure.
I don't know.
So anyway,
Ain't no one just go down the rack smelling shirts.
yes, so you go in there and you smell a shirt. And
There's
you
something
ever run into
scientific
people?
about this.
Yes. You ever run into people that you're just naturally attracted to them and you're like, I don't even know why. And it's like, they just smell pleasant to you. And then there's some people you meet and like they don't smell pleasant to you ever. You just immediately feel off. You look at me like I'm crazy.
No, it's definitely a real thing. Like,
Yeah.
So I've heard that like if you love a person, you have to be attracted to the way that they smell. I totally believe that. And you know how I know that is because smell is the strongest tie to memory.
Yes.
And I don't know what it was, but like I made the fatal mistake of remember when I used to hook up with my neighbor downstairs?
Yeah.
He was the worst. We had literally nothing in common, and if he was a flavor of ice cream, he would have been concrete. But-
Damn. That does
That
not
charcoal
sound.
flavor.
That does not sound delicious.
But for whatever it was, I was so attracted to him. And when all was said and done, I had the hardest time because like he would leave his gate would be, or sorry, his door would be open, but the gate would be closed. Like, you know, like a lot of apartments, they have both doors, the metal door and then the regular door.
And his pheromones would like waft out into your nose.
I'm not even joking you. His apartment smelled so comforting to me. There was something about it. It smelled like him. And every day when I'd walk by his apartment, even when we weren't like doing anything anymore, I would smell his apartment and it just brought back all this like nostalgia and feelings because it was just like this fucking smell. No part of me wanted to be with him. He treated me like garbage, but
But
it
he had
was
them
his
good
smell.
pheromones. And
yeah.
you know, the pheromones are supposed to tell you, like, this person, if we had kids, is compatible. I think it's, what is it, the immunities that they have? Like, you'd have stronger offspring, is what the pheromones are supposed to tell you.
Woof.
Yeah, that's like what it's for, I guess. So They also said that taking the pill inhibits that. So if you're on the pill and you find somebody attracted, the pill jacks up your hormones, and so you're actually not interpreting pheromones correctly, and you'll be attracted to the wrong people. How crazy is that?
They've had this episode of Black Mirror. Y'all gotta calm down with this shit.
Yeah, I'd be doing research. But they had people that went off the pill and then weren't attracted to their husbands anymore.
What?
That's rough.
And they thought they were gross.
That's not fair.
That I know, it's sad. Anyway, there's parties in LA.
Just go
where
back on the pill at that point.
Right? Just to save my marriage. But yeah, you go in there, you smell a bag, you find somebody that smells good, you like put your number down or something, and if you match, then you can hang out. And they introduce yourself to each other.
Gamble. Who knows what they look like?
You'd be like, you don't know what they look like. That's the weird part.
Yeah, but I just gave an example of somebody I was like really attracted to their smell, but not them as a person.
Well, hey, I don't know.
I mean, like physically them as a person, but like compatibility was all wrong.
I think it's not compatibility in the sense of your personality. At that point, it's
nature.
It's biological compatibility. You know what I'm saying?
14 woofs associated with this right here.
All right, so sign me up for some speed dating. We'll all go. Okay?
I think we should. That sounds like hilarious. A banging good time.
Sounds nerve-wracking to me.
Oh, you'd have so much fun.
You just have to take it with a grain of salt. Like, it's really not meant to define your forever. It's for a fun night out.
No expectation.
Like a waste of time, though.
Well, no expectation. I think you go in and it gives you a chance to meet a bunch of people really quickly and see what it is. It'd have to be an interesting story.
Are you kidding me? I would prep. I'd try to be like a different person for the evening.
Oh, really?
My name's Cindy. I'm from Palm Beach. I really enjoy tennis. And I
really enjoy tennis.
So much fun. My ideal man is Sean Paul.
Really into Pitbull. Really into Pitbull. You kind of look at him. You're bald.
Mr. Worldwide. Hey, I like a good bald guy.
Do you like bald guys? I'm not so into it.
I'm into bald guys. But my saving grace on the whole bald thing is I don't know why, but I love the combination of a guy who's bald but like rocks good facial hair. That's insane. Yes, queen. Yes. I don't discriminate, man.
I'm glad that someone's into it because I am not.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I know. All right, y'all. It's been a good one.
Thanks, Courtney.
Ciao.
Dang, that's it for this one, you guys. If you had a good time, make sure to check out the other podcasts that I've done with those two ladies. Feel free to follow me on the socials at Courtney Diamond for updates, and head over to CourtneyDiamond.com to check out the blog. And if you love some video games, I'm live streaming them on Twitch these days. Find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Courtney Diamond. And as always, subscribe and maybe leave a nice rating or comment on iTunes if you want to show your support. I would very much appreciate it. Hope you guys had a good time. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon.